And we're live.
Welcome to Disney on Sports, aka Sports in the Buff, aka the not so skinny on sports, a stripped down version of our normal sports segment. Here are the headlines. I did that because I wanted to give you some edit room. All right, here are the headlines. This is not the right show. All right, OBJ clears waivers. Where do you see him signing?
I know here in New York, people want him to go back to the Giants. I don't see that happening. I think he wants to go to the Packers. I think he'll end up there because the Packers, I think, especially right now, I know we're getting into Aaron Rodgers in a couple of minutes, but I think they're looking for something. They're looking for a good story right now. And if they can take the heat off Aaron Rodgers, because as much as they probably hate him internally for everything that's going on and all the shenanigans preseason, the will he, won't he, I hate the organization, I don't hate the organization. Now we're halfway through the season. I love the organization. I can't see myself leaving. They want to take the heat off him, even if it gets them mixed press, because not everyone's going to be happy if they bring in Odell Beckham Jr., but he can play. They're not going to have to, they're not signing him for the next 4 years. They're going to sign him for the rest of the year. They're going to see what happens. If he plays ball, they'll sign him longer. If he doesn't perform and he causes trouble, they won't. I don't think it's as heavy a risk as some people are making it out to be.
Yeah, I think the money's on Green Bay. I think it might be a good idea for him to hop on go up 295, put on some purple.
I mean,
wouldn't be a bad idea.
Now, as much of a talent as he is, I don't want him coming in and disrupting our locker room as being a Ravens fan myself. So I think I really do like that Green Bay pick. I was going to say like the Cardinals, especially with the shakiness of the injury with what's my man name, D-Hop.
But Cardinals don't need him right now. Cardinals are riding pretty high.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like that Hopkins injury is weird to me. Like he hasn't. I mean, he's done this before. Like I'm not gonna practice the whole season. I'm just gonna come in the game and play. But this one seems to be a little bit more lingery. So we'll see. But that's where I would like him to go. But you know what? I like the Green Bay pick because I think Rodgers can deal with him well. Rodgers or Brady, or Russell Wilson even. Well, who's hurt? You know what I mean? But somebody of that ilk could deal with him.
Yeah, it has to. You know what? I'm not wholeheartedly sold on like him being a terrible locker room distraction. I don't think he's destroyed any locker rooms.
No, I was looking back at
he's
got a reputation, but I think if you actually go through the records and parse out what he's done, has he really blown up any locker rooms?
No, he's known for like episodes on the sideline, losing, popping in up out our jacuzzi, singing "Sexual Healing," just some shenanigans, but nothing like.
No, he forces his way out of town though. He forced his way out of New York. He forced his way out of Cleveland just now. Like, do you want him to get dissatisfied? So it's your team. Dak's not getting him the ball. There's too many footballs to go around now. I mean, not enough to go around. Or if you're a Ravens fan, do you Lamar, throw me the ball? Do you want that? I'm ready to go.
This is gonna be on him at this point because he knows at this point wherever he goes, they're gonna have him on a short leash. So like I said, whether he goes to the Ravens, whether he goes to Green Bay, they're gonna have him for the end of the season, and then they're gonna reevaluate. So. It's not a huge commitment. So if you want to pick them up for the end of the year, there's 9 games left plus the playoffs. Yeah, I just think it's a lower risk than what people are making out to be. People are seeing all these articles like, what team wants to take the risk on Odell Beckham Jr.? Like, here are the 12 teams that have already said no way to OBJ. It's like, it's not that big of a risk.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing as I think it's nowhere near as bad as AB, and AB ended up writing his own story. I mean, riding off into the sunset with a ring. So I don't know. I mean, I know he's not coming to my squad because we have 75 receivers.
Right.
Like the guy who caught the 2 touchdowns that I knew nothing about because I thought it was going to be just 30.
He was just some like creative player from Madden.
Yeah, I think his name was like Philip, and he didn't have a last name. Just a guy named Philip. McLovin. McLovin scored
McLovin.
2
Alan
touchdowns.
Smithy or something.
Yeah, whole time.
Hey, look, man, I want everybody that's watching and listening who might be a little confused. We have the homie Mighty Vin on, that melodious voice that you hear. That good radio voice right there is Vin, man. So I want to make sure,
man. Wrestle Rap Podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got a Knicks based podcast, which he's got more to celebrate.
No, it's just a general sports podcast.
Oh, it's not Knicks based. It was. Knicks
Oh no,
based,
I'm not even a Knicks fan.
Oh.
No, I've always been a Nets fan.
Mm.
People are always very surprised by. It's like, you're from New York. Why do you think? But I'm from Staten Island, so I've always sort of been in the shadow of the Knicks. Like when, growing up, it was always this weird situation where, yeah, the Knicks of the '90s were the shit. Like Knicks in the '90s were great.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you get into the 2000s, it's like, that's the beginning of the James Dolan era. And then they're often fumbling from there. And meanwhile, like the Nets went to back-to-back finals. Now, look, I'm under no delusion they were going to beat the Lakers, but back-to-back finals. They had I think it was like 6 or 7 years in a row where they went where they were a playoff team. Those were much better years than the Knicks had, but the Nets were always sort of like the underdog. And I always felt that way about, sort of living in Staten Island. It wasn't necessarily, Knicks headquarters, but
gentrification.
No. I was before the gentrification, before they did that big fucking. Do you remember? Maybe you never saw this picture. I gotta send it to you after the podcast. But when what was it, Mikhail Proktorov, the guy who bought the Nets to bring them to Brooklyn, along with Jay-Z, to get like some press of like, hey, Brooklyn's gonna have a basketball team again. They put up this big billboard down the block from Madison Square Garden, where it was like it's like the blueprint for greatness, and it was just big image in all blue on blue of Jay-Z standing next to this like Russian billionaire owner, as if they're like about to put out a collab album.
Right.
And it was just like the weirdest. Like, why would you advertise? Like, okay, you want to put Jay-Z on there solo? I get it. But Jay-Z next to the Russian billionaire, it just looked so weird. Like, it just looks so weird. And then those first couple of years, they didn't embrace the fact that they had a lineage. Now they're doing it. You see with the City Edition jerseys they've put out the past couple of years, they're acknowledging the fact that, look, the Nets were never the biggest team in the world, but like, let's not pretend they didn't have some great players and great moments. Especially you go back to the ABA, Dr. J.
Right.
Like, you can't discount that. Again, back-to-back finals appearances, not even 20 years ago. Like, that's not nothing. You had Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, someone who we're going to be talking about a little later. Oh, yes, that's it.
Oh, God. Hey, look. Jay-Z sold out Brooklyn, yo.
Yeah, that's
it's gonna be crazy around this time, McCall.
Oh my God, yeah. Speaking of owners, man. So we touched on a story earlier, I think maybe last sports segment. So there was a guy named Sarver, I found out he was the Phoenix Suns owner before, and he was calling Earl Watson all kind of wild names and saying wild shit around the building and showing naked pictures of his wife and all kinds of shit. So yeah, people that show you pictures of their girl or their wife, I don't like that shit, dog. Because what if I look at that picture and I go, damn, she ugly as shit? How you gonna feel about that? Stop showing me pictures of your wives, nigga. Anyway, but then
it sound cucky, real cucky.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So the wife is now the owner of the team. And she's been calling ex-employees, including Earl Watson, and leaving voicemails talking about you tarnishing our legacy. There are people's lives at stake. Sounding real threatening. Have you heard about this story, man?
I heard a little about it. I think it's one of these situations where she look, I guess she's not wrong in the sense that, you know, if people are fucking up and she wants to let them have it.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that, but also when you're in that high a position now, there's a certain point where you have to recognize that maybe you should just cut bait and move on.
Mm-hmm.
That, okay, the damage is done, he's out, you know, so like, you know, you cut the tumor, like that's it. Like
Right.
that was the moment, he's gone.
Right.
Now we got to go forward. You're right at the start of a season just started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to continue on, you know, bring we're just talking about vibes before the play. You got to bring the good vibes back.
Right.
Like, this is not the time to have another scandal come out. Even if you are in the right, technically, in you know, lambasting these people, you have to move. You know, there comes a point in business where you do have to move forward. And I think she's just creating a little bit of trouble that doesn't need to be there.
Exactly, and I think that when you do have a scandal, and sometimes you gotta, like, you look at all the people that survive scandals. Sometimes they just shut the fuck up, and so she's in the middle of a scandal. Just shut the fuck up. Matter of fact, I am going to disagree with you. She has no right. Look, lady, your husband was saying wild shit in his locker room. Don't fucking call me. And I saw your titties. Don't call here, bitch. Click.
And I said, you needed socks.
You know what I mean?
As long as $2.95.
Oh man, sticking with basketball, man. Oh, Earl, did you want to comment on my bad?
No.
Okay, my bad. All right. So so man, so if you saw this clip, man, I think it was Markieff Morris. I apologize. We should just no self.
It's 2 weeks in a row.
I'm sorry.
Last time wasn't me.
I'm sorry. But Jokic gets the rebound, brings the ball up court. Markieff Morris, I don't know, body checks him to get the foul. Joker takes some offense to that, and I mean, I haven't seen an illegal block in the back like that since Hines Ward did it to Ed Reed.
It was pretty egregious. Egregious. There's no getting around what exactly it was. It wasn't like, oh, he turned and you know his elbow hit his head the wrong way. Like, no, that was completely intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I like after the fact, you know, he gave the Joker gave the press conference where he's like, oh, you know, I should know better. It was the heat of the game, blah, blah. That's all well and good. But then I'm assuming, you know, this is leading to the whole Twitter side of it where
is.
Now there's all of a sudden this Jokic brother account where it's like his brother is on the account. Like, first off, it's not your brother, it's you. But you don't make an account that it's your
we know
brother.
that's you, Ghost. We know that's you, Ghost.
Hey, really quick, fellas, just to interject here, and I'm going to take this quick detour. If you could, what would your Twitter burner account be called? I'm gonna vote for not Earl. At not Earl.
Oh, like a bad name for it. Oh,
Skinny Dale.
That's not bad. Skinny man Diz.
Skinny man Diz.
Emilio Sparks.
That's very funny.
That's really good. Yeah, man, but it was a lot of fallout from that shit, man. The Heat players went to their locker room to try to confront that guy. Massager. Try to confront Jokic, and then, you know, but his brothers are like at the games, like when he gets into beefs, they are standing up and like trying to jump on the floor, yo. I'm just waiting for somebody to whoop their ass.
Well, look, they're calling each other out on Twitter. They're like, "Yeah, I'll meet you over here. I'll be there." It's like, just show up then. Do it.
Do it.
Someone do it. Don't jaw jack on Twitter. If you say you're gonna do it,
Yeah.
I want security footage outside of you two on a street corner at 2 a.m. Like it's the fucking Beat It video, and like people are just, or like the Bad video where people are just meeting in a parking lot.
Lead pipes and chains.
Pipes and chains.
Right.
What in the Warriors is going on? I'm gonna pop my way to Coney.
Oh man. But yeah, man.
I want Jokic with the bottles like Warriors.
Oh yeah, man. But that would be
not Steph. That nigga shoot your lights out.
Listen, I would love to see that fight, man. Real shit, man. We'll switch it up
for 50 last night.
Who?
He put up
Steph.
50. Steph
went for 50 last night.
I mean, how many shots did he take?
Yeah, he probably, I don't know, but he hit a lot of them holes.
No.
Once you're shooting 50, it's like I don't care how many shots he took. Like
I'm just saying, if you hit 50, but you took 47 shots, is it really that impressive?
I don't know. I mean, you're talking about the GOAT shooter, right?
Is he the GOAT shooter?
Yes.
Yes.
I think he benefits.
You gotta enjoy greatness when it's in front of you.
He benefits from a league that no one defends in, but
who starts defending at the goddamn logo?
I think he benefits
from the sideline
that nobody defends. Show me somebody that plays good defense in the NBA.
That's fine.
Well, it's funny you mention that because this is something that people don't like to talk about. Like I talk to other, I'm sure it's this way with other fan bases, but some Nets fans cannot accept that the Nets have had very core issues that they have not dealt with, despite the fact that they have superstar players. And one of those things that I've been saying for at least 2 years now, before KD got in the mix, back when Kenny Atkinson was still the coach, is that it does not matter. I don't care how big your offensive guns are. If your defense is still letting teams get 120 on you, doesn't matter.
Right.
Like you've got to have that strong defense. And like last night's game was close until the fourth quarter, and then they let up on the gas. But it's like that's still a deficiency in defense because you still let the opposing team put 118 on you.
Right.
He was 14 for 28, so 50% shoot.
All right. Fuck him. I can't stand that bastard. Shout out to Dell. Yeah, man.
Dell's going through it right now.
My heart goes out to Dell.
Shout out to Dell. We'll switch it up a little football, man. Really quickly.
Everyone says they want their son to eclipse them in life, and then when it actually happens.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that.
Oh, well, yeah, you got divorced too.
That ugly man is clipping your wife. Top 5 college football. Number 5, Oregon. Number 4, Oklahoma. Bama at 3, Cincy at 2, Georgia at 1. This looks way different than what we've had. Like these last.
Bama ain't on top.
But there's no where's Clemson? You know, where's lose? As I'm saying, your usual suspects aren't up here, man. It's kind of weird. Georgia's been there. Just Cincinnati, man. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, hey. I noticed your namesake, but Steph slander is always strong with.
Hey,
with
listen,
this
man. I thought the light skins were supposed to band together.
First of all, sir.
Thought you guys sat cross-legged in the locker room on the same side.
No, sir. Nah. But yeah, man, we're top 5 going on, man. We had touched on Aaron Rodgers briefly.
I never touched on Aaron Rodgers.
This topic of Aaron Rodgers briefly. Aaron Rodgers comes out, says he's immunized, but it's never gotten.
Well, that's the key word. Yeah, that's how we flim-flammed everyone.
Yeah,
it's like I'm immunized,
so
but
really,
not vaccinated.
Really quick, I feel like this nigga was sitting there talking to the Green Bay doctors. They was like, "Hey, did you get the shot?" He was like, Are you imminent? Did you get? Are you vaccinated?
immunized?
Vaccinated? I'm not getting no goddamn vaccine. Look, are you immunized? Oh,
Did you talk to Joe Rogan? Did you get the ivermectin?
Oh man, he'll never have a tapeworm again.
No.
I mean, it's really, and then there's a lot of comparisons between him and Kyrie Irving, and then Whitlock.
I will give Kyrie credit. At the very least, he's not currently playing. He didn't cheat the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's not vaccinated, even though it took him a while to actually come out and say it.
Mm-hmm.
You eventually knew, he's not out there hiding, like trying to evade tests, and he's still on the sideline. And you're going, well, wait, what's going on with that guy?
Right.
No, he's not playing. End of story.
he's not out here talking about what he's doing is like
Right.
Martin Luther the King.
Right, like Aaron Rodgers. He's doing press conferences in person. He's on the sideline without a mask.
No mask.
He's dressing up as this man is dressing up as John Wick and going to Halloween parties.
He already got it.
Already got it.
And
Yeah,
he's got this like fucking holier than thou attitude. And that's always what, and they went on the Pat McAfee show, and that's when he did the whole thing about like, oh well, the cancel culture is gonna put their nail in my coffin. It's like, no, you're putting the nail in your coffin.
Right.
Man,
you're the one
Martin Luther King
you're the
was
one who's
alive
opening
today.
You're the one who's opening your fucking mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and you're the one talking about, oh well, I did homeopathic medicine, but did you get the vaccine?
Right.
No, yes or no? No. Put the mask on.
Right.
No one's telling you don't have to play. This is not like you can still be on the sideline and wear a mask.
Right.
While Aaron Rodgers is a complete villain here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Green Bay Packers, like, you're either telling me that Aaron Rodgers had a fake vax card, or they knew. They was like, yo, all right, you vaxxed. Let me see. Ain't nobody taking nobody's word in $1 million business.
Right.
They knew
$1 billion business.
Boy. They want to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, hey, we're gonna play nice, and we're just gonna hope that we're gonna put our trust in Aaron that he will not get COVID.
One more time.
Which, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, like
whole time. But if you're talking about $1 million, billion, $1 trillion industry, the NFL should have some uniform process where everybody league wide has whatever proof, so whatever status is known.
Right.
NFL, come on.
Dude, this fucking league can't get the headphones straight or the headsets.
Yeah, man. I think that there was a point that arrogance that Aaron Rodgers has is something that I adored about him, and now it's something like I can't as a player, bad motherfucker, but as a person, fuck Aaron Rodgers, really, man. Like, it's really, he's really becoming very unlikable. I know for a lot of people he already was, but he's really unlikable to me at this point, man. So I hope Green Bay loses every game from here on out.
So what do you think? I mean, because that's the thing that I haven't heard talked about a lot. Should some sort of punishment be levied against Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know what that punishment specifically would be. Obviously, maybe more suspensions, fines. I think there's only so much you can do before it maybe becomes too much of a punishment to some people. And then you're going to have a whole debate about that. But in general, he should be punished. I think that, look, this is still a situation where you could get people deathly sick.
Yo, they were just showing at the Bears game. Is she 98 years old? The 98-year-old owner of the Bears, the lady, that comes to every game. Like, imagine they play Green Bay twice a goddamn year. If somebody slap fives, run upstairs and get her a hot dog, Marge ate the COVID hot dog. Now, Marge don't see 99.
COVID glizzies are insane.
That's the name of
COVID glizzies are insane. No, I mean, if we talking about punishment, I mean, you don't want to do too much where you start to alienate the other players in the league.
No.
By like suspending him or something like that. But a fine, a FedEx in the mail, I think would be appropriate. I think would be
Especially
very
when
appropriate.
you find niggas for waving at players at the end of games or you come on, man.
That stuff's ridiculous. I know why it was implemented because last year there were no fans, so people on the sidelines can hear everything.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I'm even gonna say, even with that, come on, you're gonna cry because someone taunted you after scoring a touchdown.
You know what?
If you're paying me $25 million to be on that field, you can call my mom whatever you want. You can say whatever you want at that point.
Mm-hmm. See, here's my thing, man. There is some egregious shit. There's some egregious shit. It's like, all right, dude, go sit your ass. You know what I mean? You know, running up on people, getting in their face and all of that. Like, you know, it's some shit that's egregious.
Yeah.
But you can't decide it. Like that guy from the Bears last night.
He taunted the sideline a little bit.
I don't like that call. It's at that point in that game, man. Like I'm not gonna say it cost him the game, but it potentially could have cost him the game. You know what I mean?
There were a lot of stuff in that game like that.
Right.
But it's not like, you know, you're running up and fucking dropping your balls on someone's face. Like,
right.
You're going up and like waving to people, basically. It's like
right.
in baseball. I hate, because this is really reminiscent of in baseball when people, a lot of the old timers go like, oh, well, we don't like bat flipping. Or like when people get
cock their head to the side.
People cock their head to the side or like, you know, get a little pumped up when they're running the bases. It's like, what do you want them to do? They just, you know, someone just made it to the World Series.
Right.
You don't want them to be excited?
Right.
Like when I first heard what bat flipping was, because there was a time where like people had just really started doing it, and it was like, oh, what are they? Are they like throwing the bat all the way up in the air, and it's like going into the stands and hitting people? It's like, and then I finally saw it happen. It was just like a little whoop, like whoop. Someone like some people don't. They just drop the bat, and that's considered bat flipping. Like when you just like very vehemently like I'm dropping the mic.
That's my problem with baseball. That's why I mean, other than it being a slow ass sport, right? All these dumbass unwritten rules and if you're up by a certain amount
of the game,
if you're up by a certain amount of runs, don't hit the ball. Don't pitch that motherfucker over the plate to me. How about strike me the fuck out? Like, I mean, what the fuck?
If your team sucks, you're going to get annihilated in this game, and then that's a sign you have to do better.
Exactly. And if they want to rule, then baseball needs to make a rule, a 10-run mercy rule or some shit, you know, reminiscent of a running clock. But don't bring in Jim Watson, who hasn't pitched since Little League and is a designated hitter, and he's 42 to throw 40-mile-an-hour fastballs. Because I'm going to rock that shit.
Well, it's another point where people, you know, they bring up that, analytics in baseball. And I think that's really what has slowly killed that, and them not changing a lot of the rules to make it more expedient, a quicker pace of game for new audiences.
I like to vote for steroids.
I'm all for steroids.
Bring back the cork bats, the wound up balls, and the roids. Fuck it.
Yeah, because it's a, like you said, it's a slow game. It's a game where you can't really make new stars. Even the most popular players in the MLB don't come close to the most popular players in the NBA or the NFL because you can only see them so many times. Like, you cannot carry your team.
Right.
Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron, like, these are people who, when push comes to shove in a playoff scenario, you can have them put the whole team on their back and watch something amazing happen. You can't have that in the MLB because it's like, okay, you're up, and then you're going to do your thing, and then someone else is going to come up. And then after them, they strike out, someone else is going to come up. So you can't, there's no one person who can affect the game so much
Pitchers.
Well, but then that's where the analytics come in, because you rarely see pitchers go the full 9 innings now.
Right.
Because it's
which
like,
takes all the moments from pitchers.
Right.
So now in a sport where you can actually see the players, as opposed to like football where they have a helmet on, you should be able to have stars here. But a great deal of your players don't speak English. You're great players or don't speak English well, so it's hard to do commercials. There's a lot of like division, like a lot of things that are stopping baseball from being like a growing sport.
I think I think 20 more years.
Yeah, well, I think going back to the original point, I think it just needs style. Baseball has lost style, if it ever had enough of it to begin with. When you think baseball, like this past year, the most exciting thing in baseball was they did the Field of Dreams game, which
was dope.
That was cool.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's not exactly the most modern thing in the world to be like, we're gonna pay tribute to this like corny baseball movie from the late 80s where it's like, if you build it, we're gonna go play in a cornfield. Like, now if they did something like, hey, we're gonna do like a street classic where it's like a wiffle ball style game, like we're gonna close down a bunch of blocks in the middle of Brooklyn and do like a wiffle ball style street ball game, like ball. That would be interesting, like something like that. Because they do that in other sports too. Like hockey has the Winter Classic, where they do it outside, which is always interesting because then it's like it's fucking snowing. You're doing it in a big arena. The NBA, I think, in the next few years is going to start experimenting with doing kind of what I just mentioned with MLB, where I feel like right now they just did a whole renovation of Rucker Park in New York City, and a lot of that's funded by, or the majority of it was funded by the Players Association. And there have been rumblings, like just rumors, but that maybe like once a year they do like a game at Rucker Park.
Oh man,
and
an
like,
NBA game with chain nets would be insane.
That'd be dope.
Had like main man with the microphone on the court.
Yeah, like live commentary instead of having it being closed commentary. Like that would be great. Like why not? Why not get crazy?
Double rims, all that.
No, I think you changed the game then. I think you might change
double
the
rims.
game.
You know, man. Hey man, here Wiz
like
Buffy Vin.
Pay for. I'm sorry.
Oh, you good, man. Here's Wiz Buffy Vin. We do something that we like to call the shooting the 5. Hashtag ST5. Hashtag shoot the 5 at Wiz Buffy on Instagram and Twitter. Listen, man. Tonight's shooting the 5 is based on clear favorites to win the Super Bowl. And so it doesn't feel like this year's NFL has any clear favorites, but I need y'all to give me your top 5 in order favorites to win. Yeah, give them in order.
Oh, geez.
That'd be in the
I'd actually have to look. In order, too.
In order.
That's a tough call this year.
Okay, all right. No order then. Fuck it. Just give me 5.
That is a genuinely tough call. I would say Cardinals.
Okay.
Bills. Buccaneers.
Okay.
Packers. And you know what? Fuck, I'll say Cowboys. I want him to win.
He's disgusted.
Oh,
Yo, fam, what you got, man?
I mean, a lot of the same. Definitely once they're healthy, the Cardinals are at the top of my list.
Okay.
I think this week in football was the weirdest. I think it was like some sort of weird anomaly where didn't almost every 7-1 team lose this week?
How many 7-1 teams were there?
There were like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Shit. But like Green Bay, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, all of them were 7-1. They lost. The Bills I thought was 7-1 too, weren't they? And they lost 9-3 to the goddamn Jags. That being said, I'll go
5-3.
Okay. I'll go Cardinals, Green Bay, Rams,
Mhm.
Buffalo.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And I'm gonna go my Cowboys number 5.
All right. Well,
Actually, take out Buffalo and give me Baltimore.
I was because I don't know what the fuck's up with you guys, man. I'm gonna go. Jesus Christ, man! Look, I'll say
I'll tell you why once you run your list.
Go ahead. I mean, all right. So I have the Buffalo Bills, the Los Angeles Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Arizona Cardinals, and number 1 I have the Baltimore Ravens.
Don't.
We're like a team of destiny.
Listen, this is all right because while the Ravens, for me, I keep saying it, y'all niggas depend on. Now he's one of the greatest players of the last 5 years, period. But y'all depend on Lamar Jackson, like he can't make a mistake. And then when he does have a situation where there's a mistake, they break, right? And then the city turn on for 15 seconds, and then the next week he does something amazing, and they right back. But it's like I feel like y'all get that man some help.
Well, I mean,
go get
come on, dog. Like their top tackle, who they just fucking paid, got hurt again. Talking about, I heard that he might retire. Your top 3 backs go out. One of your top guards go out. You know what I mean? Like you say Deshaun Elliott just got hurt. Marcus Peters just got hurt. They are what's the boy Wolf? What's his name? Wolf. Derek Wolf was out for a long time. It's just they have been decimated, and to play like they have been playing and still find ways to win, man, that's battle tested. And if they could just get into a little bit of fuck a rhythm, if they could just grab somebody and tackle, just grab somebody. And I mean, it's one thing to let a motherfucker get 10 catches, but you can't let him get, all these yards at the catch. Touch him, put him on the ground. Now instead of it being 1st and 10 on the 45, it's 2nd and 2 back here on the 20. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's,
you gotta lean, but you have to lean to one side of the ball or the other. I know you have to run a whole team, right? But if defense isn't your deal, at least throw some cards to the offense. Get them niggas some spades over there where they can play later.
Trade is over. I mean, what you gonna do now?
Pick up Odell Beckham off waivers.
There you go.
But that one problem that since we've been podcasting, the infamous number 1 receiver in Baltimore has been wildly elusive. Go get him. Can't blame Ozzy no more.
I like Bateman. We'll be all right.
I mean, no, you guys will be good.
Mm-hmm.
Get that man some help. Making it to the promised land. Yeah, you won't be fighting with the goddamn Vikings and the goddamn Lions.
All right, man. I think that's our show for tonight. Hey, man, that has been Sports in the Buff, man. Hey, Vin, I appreciate you coming on, man. Your insight, man.
I love it.
Where can the people find you at on social media, man?
You can follow me over on Twitter at Mighty Vin. Follow me over on Instagram at VinForteNYC. You can follow my podcasts at Wrestle Rap over on Twitter. It's me and Emilio Sparks. We have a new episode up right now where we interview Ethan Page from AEW. And then also Oddball at Oddball Podcast over on Twitter for the sports podcast that I do. And yeah, that's where you could find me.
Catch Vin saying egregious things in the Discord. You can catch Mighty Vin posting some of the wildest things you've ever seen on the gram of instance.
It's not that wild.
Didn't you post an issue of Players Magazine one time?
Maybe. You'll go follow me and find out.
That's what's up.
Go follow me and find out.
Pam Grier.
Listen, nobody's gonna say no to Pam Grier.
Oh, are we still We're still alive, so we keep talking. I don't want to say anything wild, but we're on. AB, check us out.
That's a fact. You ain't gonna wrap up. I
didn't know how we gonna do that this week.
This is the end of it's the end. This is the end of it. So I am first of all, college basketball starts tonight. Go Blue Devils.
Yeah.
That being said, Coach K's last season should be dope. I am IlFam790, your social media choice, aka Don, editor of the podcast, and aka Captain Boo Albano. Brew Diamond Phillips, Sticky the Dragon Steamboat, Pod Shampoo, God's favorite podcaster. Potty Pipe, I'm here to podcast, True Bubble Gum, and I'm all out of teen eyes.
Before I get into myself, and I love getting into myself, where's
that
Buffy.com?
one was not me. That one was not me, oddly enough.
Where's Buffy.com?
How do you do? I was saying before how do you do the R&D for that?
What is R&D?
Research and development for the
You know, I don't want to scratch
Penthouse's Lucius Fox. I have it. I know exactly what to do. That does not smell like the coochie I intended it to smell like.
Right.
It smells like
coochie, don't you?
Killing your brain cells.
Man, I'm Fatboy_Diz on Twitter, Smoking and Drinking on Instagram. Fatboy Diz is one of the most finger waviest. It's not the journal, it's the penis. Johnny Cochran, if the glove don't fit, I will not hit.
You can't say I say wild stuff and then be like, it's not DiGiorno, it's the penis.
I've been saying that for like 7 years, man. People are numb to that shit.
Oh my.
Double entendre. Entendre the Giant.
Entendre the Giant.
That's my new black wrestling name, dog.
There you go.
I smoke cigars, I use rubbers, and sometimes I come up with AKAs on the Flizzai. Shout out to brother Mav. Shout out to brother Brock, man.
Shout out to Mike Steph. Shout out to everybody that was rocking tonight in the chat. Shout out to who else was in there? Creek. Shout out to Creek. Hey, Creek, man. I'm probably gonna be down there this weekend, man. If I don't make SmackDown, let's get a drink. That being said, AB.
Shout out to Body More Bottles.
Oh, shout out to Body More Bottles. Hey, listen, man.
I'm still waiting for my cigar, my nigga. I ain't forgot.
Oh, good folks. Over Body More Bottles with the coasters, man, the cups. Hey, man. Shout out to the whole Discord, man. But if you go in there, be aware. Be aware. AB, take us out.
It's gang. If I don't fuck with you, they don't fuck with you.
Well, I think it's their choice, isn't it?
Man, gang. You know what that means? Gang. Take the L out of lover. It's over, brother.